Good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. Thank God it's Friday, right? It's been a rough week. It's been a long week. Lisa, nurse teacher. It is Stacy. Good morning. Mark Denning. Good morning. Jack's mom. Good morning. How's everyone doing this morning? Hey, Cheryl Lynn. How are you doing? Oh my gosh, last night, guys, or yesterday evening, I started binge watching Nurse Ratched. I watched every episode. And it was so addictive. I just couldn't quit watching it. I love shows like that, especially when it takes, uh, when the settings like back in the 40s or 50s. I just love it. 60s. That lady that played in Nurse Ratched, she was on several seasons of American Horror Story. Verbal, good morning. Never Lose Hope. Chatterbox. Morning, Al. I'm not late. You're not late this morning, Karen. I'm proud of you. I know we're on different times. It's okay if you're late. Mark, I'm glad to hear that you're doing okay. Still been praying for you. Still praying for Will. Y'all remember 411 now. He's had such a hard year. A lot of people have. A lot of people's lost loved ones. Mark Denning, he lost his younger brother. I believe it was last week. So sad. Yeah, she always played good suspense movies. She actually talks with a English accent, I think. Isn't that weird how they can change their voice to be in these shows and movies? I mean, she sounds just like we do. She don't have that English accent. It's crazy how they can do that. So this morning I got us some topics. Thought we'd talk about Joel Guy Jr. His trial. The jury is deliberating. Also have a little update about Lelia Cavett for you guys. Have an update about the two Amish brothers who were having sex with their 13-year-old sister and got her pregnant. Also got a little Jennifer Dulo's case update for you guys. And, oh yeah, I was going to tell y'all, President Trump and the First Lady have tested positive for COVID. Now, I hate talking about politics, so I really don't want to talk about politics, but I just wanted to share that with you guys. It's one thing I can't stand politics. Mark has burnt me out on that crap, It's all he thinks about. But yeah, he tested positive for COVID-19, so did Melania. I think now Biden is going to be tested for it. Never who was around the president. Has he not been wearing a mask? What's going on? Oh, yes. Prayers for Lisa. It about slipped my mind. I'm so sorry, Lisa. Lisa lost her sister. How in the world did I forget that? Sorry, Lisa. Pray for Lisa. Wow. God thing he wore a mask. Good thing he wore a mask. Did Biden have a mask on during the debate the other night? See, I wasn't watching. I don't watch that crap. It's just something I can't stand to watch is politics. But I did hear that they sound like two high school girls arguing back and forth. I did hear a clip. Biden told Trump he was the worst president ever. Really? I don't think that was necessary. Yes, Chatterbox, you're going to need to talk to Mark because I hate politics. I can't stand them. I know you're into it, so my apologies, but you know how it is. I just don't like it. I don't enjoy talking about it. I'll tell you what burnt me out on it was during Trump's first election when he was running for president. Yeah, Mark, I mean, it's all he wanted to talk about. It's all he wanted to watch, and, I'm just not into it. It's depressing. It's boring. Sorry, Chatterbox. He's going to all these fundraisers and all these dinners with all his friends and get-togethers constantly. He doesn't wear a mask. Well, you know what? It's his own fault if he's got COVID then for not wearing a mask. But I hope that they're okay, of course. They don't get real sick. Alex B, good morning. Tell my two little girls good morning. Politics, I know more about your country than I do my own. Really, Karen? Hey, Karen, I was just wondering, do you follow the true crime in your own country? Sure you do. Hey, Sunny Side Up. Good morning. Sunny Side Up, she's been on my channel for a long time, just like Chatterbox and a few more since like the very beginning. TC, she's been on my channel forever too. Hey, Drama, how are you doing? I try to stay away from politics with friends. This is big news, though. Yeah, I stay away from politics. My papa always told me when I was growing up, never argue about politics, never argue about religion. So I don't. I'm not going to argue with someone about something like that. I mean, you're not going to change their mind. So, hey, Debbie, good morning. The mask just protects people from getting it from you. Yes, that's what I thought. I walked into the Dollar or Family Dollar the other day and didn't have my mask on. And once I got in there and realized it, I felt so weird and awkward because everybody else had theirs on. But I didn't mean to do that. I just wasn't thinking. I was telling Mark the other day, these real little kids, like toddlers and stuff, they're going to get used to wearing this and it'll be just like a normal thing for them in a couple years. What, Tara? Are you okay? I had to call the police last evening. Why? Why'd you have to call the police? Someone bothering you? Okay, let me pull up this I can't even say his name. Joel. We pronounce his name different here. I've heard some people say Joel. We say Joel. That's how we say it here. So yesterday, the state rested. Defense did too. I don't even know if they called any witnesses. But we'll go over what happened yesterday during this monster's trial. I'm telling you, this is probably one of the worst cases I've ever read about and followed. And this happened not too far from me, Knoxville, Tennessee. It's just a hop, skip, and jump for me. A couple hours drive, 2 or 3. I think it takes me like 3 to get to Gatlinburg or to get to Pigeon Forge. So probably about 3.5, 4 hours to get to Knoxville. I like going to Knoxville to the zoo. Okay, let's see. My neighbors had a skull or something hanging out of the bag in trash. Really, I took pictures. What was it, a real skull or like a Halloween prop? Girl, you better be keeping your doors locked. That is so crazy. Okay, so Jim Brink was the first to testify on Thursday. Brink is an employee at KGIS. He testified that the Guy family lived at Golden View Lane in Hardin Valley, 642 miles from Baton Rouge. Dr. Murray Marks, a forensic anthropologist, took the stand. He testified that Dr. Hawes, who performed autopsies on Mr. and Mrs. Guy, asked him to help with the case. Dr. Marks was asked to explain what he found when examining the skeletal remains of Joel Guy Sr. He reported several findings, including sharp force trauma to the ribs, traumas to the shoulder blades, damage from the chemicals the bones were placed in. Dr. Marks reported that Lisa Guy had 12 ribs that were damaged, cut marks on the ribs, blunt force trauma, sharp force trauma to the scapula, knees damaged by chemical exposure, 21 sharp force injuries to the ribs, 9 completely severed ribs. Lord have mercy. The lower portion of the legs removed at the knee, and one hand removed from the wrist. Joel Guy Jr. was given the opportunity to testify in his own defense, but he declined. The jury was dismissed as lawyers prepared closing arguments. The defense argued that a recording of a call between Joel Guy Jr. and Michael McCracken should not be admissible in court, but the judge said he believed it provided relevant information and allowed the call remain in court as evidence. During closing arguments, prosecutors made a connection between the notebook scrawled with instructions on how to murder the guys and the evidence that showed the instructions were followed during the killings. The note said, "Turn heat as high as it goes to speed decomposition." And prosecutors noted that the thermostat in the house was turned to 90 degrees. The defense argued that no DNA or fingerprints were found on the pages of the notebook and suggested that indicated it may not belong to Joel Guy Jr. Really? That's hogwash. However, prosecutors pointed out that the writing contained information that only Guy Jr. would know, such as knowledge about his mother's life insurance policy. If I'm not mistaken, he left a fingerprint behind on one of the weapons he used, one of the knives, I believe. The notebook, they tell us, well, they did note the DNA on the outside of the notebook. So that means at some point someone touched the outside of the notebook. What about DNA on writing on the inside? Questioned John Halstead, Guy's attorney. Prosecutors argued that Lisa Guy had only continued to work in order to support her son because he was a sorry ass. That's why. And that Joel Guy Jr. used her money to pay for the tubs the bodies were dissolved in, the tools used in the murders, and the potato salad Guy bought after Lisa and Joel Sr. were killed. Can you believe that? He used his mother's money to go buy the weapons he was going to kill them with and the tubs. Then after he killed them and dismembered them, put them in chemicals, he went and bought him some potato salad. Jesus, what a monster. Just think about how gruesome cutting up a body would be. If you've ever seen like an animal skinned or anything like a deer, someone's been hunting and killed one. It's pretty gruesome. I'll look at the chat in just a minute. Okay. The prosecutors also said Lisa was searching for a new job in Surgeonsville and said this showed evidence that she intended to continue to support her son despite her husband's wishes to cut him off. Following closing statements, Judge Sword explained the charges against Joel Guy Jr. and how to reach a verdict in the case before dismissing them to deliberate. Guy Jr. is charged with 5 counts of first-degree murder, 2 counts of abuse of a corpse. At about 5 p.m., the jury decided to break for the evening, and they resumed deliberations this morning, 10 a.m. Well, I really thought they would have been back with a verdict by now, but, I guess it's a slow process. They got to talk it over, review all the evidence. All of them's got to agree on it. Like, I get it. They can't rush and do it, but in my mind, I was like, this is a slam dunk. I figured they'd be back in an hour or two. But then I got to thinking, I was like, hey, it's a process. They got to go through the evidence, discuss it, make sure they all agree. So sick that he murdered his parents. He used their money to buy the murder weapons and the tubs he was going to put their dismembered bodies in. He's so sick. Psycho. What's the word for him, guys? Psycho. We know monster, evil, but what's like the real term for him? psychopath, sociopath, probably all of the above. He is one weird character. He is still trying to collect on his parents' life insurance benefits. He butchered them, and he still wants their money. He's been doing submitting handwritten claims through the court. Sociopath, Mary Mary, all of the above. Hey, Orange student. How are you doing? Sick, evil devil. Sunny side up. I believe an eye for an eye. He said before the trial started, if he was found guilty, he wanted the death penalty. They're not even seeking the death penalty in this case. I don't understand why. He deserves the death penalty for what he did to his parents. Maybe the family didn't want him to seek the death penalty. I don't know. Maybe it was his sisters that didn't want him to get the death penalty. He has like 3 or 4 sisters. Mark, are you leaving? Have a blessed day, Mark. Have a great weekend. Email me if you ever need anything. I think my email's in my about section. You can find it. Self-entitled piece of crap is my term for him. Yeah. He's got to be mental. I saw yesterday on the Law and Crime chat, someone was asking, did they not have him evaluated to see if he was insane or not? And someone replied in the chat that they did. That's just hearsay. I don't know if they really did. You would think they did, considering this crime. He fell asleep in court the other day, sociopath and narcissist. I'm just wondering if they have him on some type of medication. I'm just trying to think of what that is. They give a lot of the inmates in the jail Thorazine. It's something like that. Thora something. And it kind of makes them like zombies. They just sleep the whole time. Nurse teacher might know what I'm talking about. And this man was never taught anything for himself, like clean or anything. So I think he thought he could do it, but when he got into it, he didn't know what he was doing. Well, he didn't count on getting injured. This guy is highly intelligent when it comes to books, probably computers, games, but he has no common sense. Anyone with any common sense knows if you murder someone with a knife, you're going to more than likely get injured. 9 times out of 10, you're going to get injured because the handle gets slippery with blood. And then they go to stab and their hand slips down on the blade. He didn't count on that. I think it's Thorazine. He had been spoiled all his life. His parents did everything for him, paid everything. Hell, he went to like 2 different damn colleges, didn't get any degrees. I think he dropped out. And basically, he just sat in his apartment playing video games online, and mommy and daddy foot the bill for everything. It's a little saying my granny says, foot the bill. Means they paid for everything. They got tired of it. Can you imagine paying his rent on his apartment? He was living in Baton Rouge. It was probably expensive. I'd say his rent was probably at least $1,000 a month. Then they're paying his utilities. They're buying his groceries. They're paying for everything, buying the gas. I think he had a dog. Probably paid for the dog's food. They paid for everything. They was tired of it. They wanted to retire. They couldn't retire when they're supporting him, paying for 2 households. Crap. Mark's mom, she will help us when we need it. But this is the way his mom and dad is. If you don't help yourself, they're not going to help you. If they see that you're trying and you need something, they'll help you. We do most everything on our own. It's the way it should be. How old is he? I think he's 32 now. But I think he was like 28 or 29 when the murders happened. Crap, I'm about to time somebody out. Anyways, he was in his late 20s when he killed him. Yeah, he's like 28 or 29 when he killed him. I think he's like, what, 32 now? This happened in 2016, Thanksgiving. Like when he was going to visit them for Thanksgiving, he knew he was going to kill them. He had it planned out. They were going to have one last Thanksgiving together in that house because the guys were going to sell that house. In the process of selling it, they were going to get another home. So that was going to be their last family get together in that home. And after his sisters left, after Thanksgiving and stuff, he attacked. Attacked the dad first upstairs in the exercise room. Mom was out grocery shopping. She comes home. Looked like to me she barely got through the door and he attacked her because her groceries were still laying there in the video I watched, the body cam footage. I mean, isn't it crazy? Like, you carry a baby in your belly for 9 months. You give birth to that baby. You care for it, love it, support it. Its whole life. It grows up and butchers you and dismembers you. Can you imagine that? I mean, it's just crazy, Vicky. No way they wanted him to live with them. No. They didn't. It just blows my mind that he would rather butcher his parents than get a job. I mean, I just can't believe it. That someone would rather stab both their parents to death, cut up their bodies, than go out and get a job and be responsible. That's what they were wanting him to do, be a responsible adult. This guy had a lot of resentment towards them. His friend testified, he was at a boarding school, I guess his high school years. That boarding school is for really smart kids. It was like math, science, and art school. And his friend said that, like, no one ever visited him. No one ever called besides his mother. No one ever wrote him letters besides his mother. That guy testified during their 10-year friendship, he only saw Guy Jr.'s mother once, met her once, never met the father. And I think he resented them for that. Guy Jr. resented his parents for that. That's got something to do with it. But you know what? There's a lot of people that's had bad childhoods, such as myself. And I've not murdered anyone. There's a lot of people, been traumatized during their childhood. So they were funding his addiction too. So what really said. Someone said there was an empty oxycodone bottle they're prescribed to him. He won't be getting that in jail. No, they won't be giving him no oxycodone in jail. He'd have to be having cancer or something before he would get that. He wasn't supposed to show up for Thanksgiving. Really, Jack's mom. That's why I like talking to y'all, because y'all tell me things I didn't know. I didn't know that. Was he not invited? And where's this dog that they were talking about? I want to know what happened to that dog he had. Said he was living in Baton Rouge with his dog. Not very caring in other ways, but sounds like they always paid it, keep him elsewhere. Yeah, I almost got the feeling like they didn't want him around. They didn't have much contact with him when he was away at boarding school or college. Maybe he caused them a lot of trouble over the years. ATC, good morning. Remy, they make you withdraw in jail. They won't give it due to using it for trading for other things. Well, if you are a pregnant woman and you get arrested and you have a prescription for Suboxone or Subutex, they will give it to you. Here they will. As long as the pills in the bottle are on count. They'll give it to you, and then after you're out, that's it. Now, I do know they give them the Rottens in jail, like for leg pain, nerve damage, in the Thorazine. Well, our county jail here, they have a psych doctor you can go to. Of course, all the inmates want to go to the psych doctor to get sleeping pills. He seemed like he was heavily medicated to me. I bet the jail's giving him psych meds. Okay. It's enough talking about that monster. I got Never Lose Hope, keeping an eye out for the verdict. If the verdict comes in, Never Lose Hope, tag my name so I can see your comment. If you don't mind. Okay, so next, I guess we will talk about, let's do Lelia Cavett next, and then we'll do Jennifer Dulo's, and then the Amish Brothers. I'm trying to stay organized here, y'all. So y'all remember the Lelia Cavett case. Her son was found wandering a street down in Florida by an apartment complex. Someone found him, called the police. And Layla was just gone. His mom was just gone, but they did end up arresting a guy for it. But now they're searching a landfill for her body. Let's read this. Investigators are sifting through a Broward County landfill for clues to the disappearance of Lelia Cavett, a Georgia mother whose toddler son was found wandering a Florida apartment complex, barefoot and alone and in a dirty diaper. That happened in July. FBI Miami Special Agent Michael D. Leverock said that investigators began searching Pompano Beach Monarch Hill landfill on Thursday, but he would not provide any further information about the search. And the suspect they arrested in connection to her disappearance, he's an alleged witch doctor. Okay. Cavett was last seen on July 25th on security footage at a racetrack gas station in Hollywood, Florida. Family members said Cavett may have left Georgia with her toddler son abruptly at night and drove to Florida for unknown reasons. During the morning hours of July 26, passerby Ebony Williams discovered Cavett's son, 2-year-old Camden, wandering alone in a t-shirt, dirty diaper outside of an apartment complex off of Southwest 68th Avenue in Miramar. After searching the area for the toddler's caretakers without luck, Williams contacted police. Camden is now in foster care while family members go through the legal process in an attempt to gain custody. Meanwhile, Layla remains missing. On August 15th, authorities arrested a person of interest in the case, a self-proclaimed witch doctor, Shannon Ryan. He was detained in Florida and arrested for lying to the FBI and kidnapping in connection to Camden. A criminal complaint indicated a car that looked identical to Ryan's gold Lexus with the missing bumper was spotted on security footage by the apartment complex just moments before the toddler was found. Thank God he didn't kill Camden. A vehicle consistent with Ryan's gold Lexus is seen directly in front of the apartment complex where the child was recovered only minutes before the child was found. Ryan's Lexus is very distinguishable because it has the missing front bumper. I could show y'all his pic in a minute. According to a federal search warrant, investigators also found shovels with red droplets in Ryan's possession, which is presumed to be blood. Investigators also found blood on the rear passenger side of Layla's truck. The truck's driver's side window had been broken out. Inside Ryan's Lexus, investigators found several black trash bags, an all-purpose cleaner with bleach, and a white powdery substance under the driver's seat. Hold on, let me get a drink of coffee. Search records on Ryan's phone allegedly showed incriminating online searches, including what does what day does commercial garbage pick up for Hollywood, Florida? Does bleach and alcohol make chloroform? Further invest Further, investigators interviewed several workers at the racetrack gas station. Employees said they noticed children's toys and women's clothing in the dumpster. One article of clothing looked identical to the floral pants Layla was seen wearing on security footage. One of the workers told investigators they saw Ryan near the gas station dumpster. Law enforcement obtained security footage showing Ryan parking his car near the dumpster on July 25th. In an hour-long video posted on Facebook earlier this month, Ryan claimed he was the last person to see Cavett before she disappeared from the racetrack gas station with a group of men. Ryan claimed on the same video that he had known Layla for years. He said Layla and her toddler son Camden previously lived with him in Alabama for months. Ryan also said he was in Hollywood visiting a friend in the hospital when he asked Layla to come to Florida. He offered to buy her truck from her, a truck Layla had reportedly just bought for herself. I said, "Let me buy that truck from you," Ryan said. "I'm not selling my truck." I'm like, "Layla, come on, sell me the truck." From my understanding, I thought that was the reason she was coming to Florida. Ryan alleged that Layla showed up with the truck and her son in Florida after their conversation. He claimed he spent the day with Layla and Camden, going to the beach and treating them to lunch and dinner. Ryan added he paid Layla $3,000 for her truck, and at some point they ended up at the racetrack in Hollywood, where Layla and her son left with unknown men. This is what he said. They pulled up to the gas station. Boom. When I pulled up to the gas station, it's some guys in a car that she's talking to, Ryan said. These guys look familiar because they look like it's got the word beeped out, she was talking to at the beach, and she has no limits. Investigators analyzed security footage and found no evidence of Layla Cavett leaving with a group of men in a dark sedan. So Crime Online actually reached out to this Ryan guy prior to his arrest, but he refused to talk to them unless they gave him a payment of $500,000. That's my price. This is how I do business. I get paid to answer people's questions, so you're no different. Other than that, I have nothing to say, and you can quote me on this, Ryan told Crime Online. Layla Cavett stands 5 feet 4 inches tall and weighs 120 pounds. She has a tattoo on her inner right arm that reads Camden in cursive and a smile tattoo of a Jesus fish on her right wrist. Anyone with information on Cavett is urged to contact the FBI's Miami office at 1-800-CALL-FBI, or you can submit a tip at fbi.gov/tips. I still can't believe that they have not found her. I remember watching his video when he was ranting about Layla. He was victim bashing. He was making her out to be a drug addict. He was making her out to be promiscuous. I think he lured Layla down to Florida to steal her truck from her. That's what I think. I think he had some kind of obsession with Layla. They obviously knew each other somehow. So this is his picture. Let me see if it's screen shared. Yeah. Self-proclaimed witch doctor. He's doing the voodoo, y'all. Hey, Carolina girl. Had someone not found that little boy wandering around, I wonder if they would have caught this guy. It probably would have took a while for them to catch him. Seems like I remember something about Facebook. Like he had contacted her through Facebook. He claims that Lelia used to live with him. He tried to take her in, buy her clothes, take care of her and her son. That's what he claims. I don't believe that bull crap. Yeah, he's doing the voodoo, y'all. They say voodoo only works if you believe in it. Like if you do the voodoo spell on someone and they don't believe in voodoo, it's not going to work, I heard. Actually, in that video, he posted a couple videos. We actually watched them on my live stream. He seemed like he was on methamphetamine to me. He was definitely jacked up on something. Thank God he did not kill Camden. He could have easily done that if he had wanted to. Thank God he didn't. Cece, guilty on all counts. Thank you, guys. So Joel Guy Jr., guilty on all counts, and he will be spending the rest of his sorry-ass life in prison. Cuffed and stuffed forever. Best news I've heard all day. Yes, guilty-ass bastard on all charges. I knew it. He's a felon and a con man. That's right, Stacy. He is. This Ryan guy for sure. I don't know if they're going to find Layla, to be honest. I'm just wondering why the driver's side truck window was broke out in Layla's vehicle. Because it wasn't when she first arrived in Florida. They had some security footage. Her window was not broke in her truck. Actually, when they found her truck, I think it was parked in a Walmart parking lot in Hollywood. Been parked there for several days. So police staked out the parking lot. And they caught him going to that truck. He came back to the truck and they busted him. Poor Camden. I wish her family could get Camden. I mean, they've been trying to get this child since what, July? Still don't have him. Please, guys, never take off to go meet someone. I don't care if you've known them forever. Never take off and go meet someone without letting someone know. Oh, it's all right, Stacy. I can never type. His poor stepsister, she took this really hard. Yeah. So I think the stepsister, so her biological dad is Joel Guy Sr., right? So he must have had kids before he married Lisa, and then they had this monster. Menendez. I can't say that. Mendez brothers. Yeah. I know quite a bit about them. I've watched several documentaries on them. That happened when I was like young, so I didn't follow it closely. What year did that happen? The how do you say that? Mendez brothers? I don't know why the family can't get Camden. I don't know what's going on with that. The biological dad said that he was going to try to get him, but he had to take a DNA test first. I don't know whatever happened with that. Sentencing in 10 minutes. Okay, great. With those, that's bad. But Joel takes the new cake award for sick. Yeah. Monster of the year goes to Joel Guy Jr. Probably about 20 years now. Mendez 1996. Yeah. It happened when I was in high school. Now, they claimed that their father was molesting them. I kind of believed them on it. I know a lot of people think they're just using that as an excuse because they murdered their parents, but you never know. You never know. They could have been being molested. I know their dad was real rough on them. It's not an excuse to brutally murder your parents, though. Like I said, I had a horrific childhood. I've never had thoughts of harming my parents or anything like that. The only thoughts I ever had, like when I was growing up, was just getting away. Just being an adult and getting away and being free. Um, there was an Amber Alert issued yesterday. If I can remember, I'll tell you about it. I want to do Jennifer Dulos here, tell y'all what's going on with her case. They're trying to get her declared legally dead. The lawyer that was appointed to handle Fotis's estate, yeah, he's wanting her declared legally dead. I'm going to read y'all the article. Poor Jennifer. I don't know if they're ever going to find her. I'm going to mute 1 second, guys, and go grab me some coffee real quick, and then we're going to finish up. Okay, guys, my apologies for that. Okay, let me read y'all what's going on with the Jennifer Dulos case. I cannot wait to Michelle Troconis and Kent Malwhenney go to trial for this. Can't wait to see them cuffed and stuffed forever because they're going down. They're not going to get out of this. Fotis's suicide letter saying they're innocent is not going to help them. They're still going down. A bevy of attorneys representing the state of Fotis Dulos and his creditors will argue whether his estranged wife can be declared dead for probate purposes and how much his former criminal defense attorneys will have to return of a $250,000 retainer during a hearing in late October. Attorney Christopher Hug, the court-appointed administrator of Fotis Dulos' estate, contends he needs Jennifer Dulos declared dead by a probate court judge before he can disperse a $194,000 individual retirement account. For the estate to gain access to the IRA, a judge must determine that Jennifer Dulos predeceased Fotis Dulos, since no beneficiary of the account was named. Oh, so they need her to be declared dead before Fotis was. It usually takes, like when someone's missing like that, it took Carol Baskin like 4 years to have Dawn declared legally dead. The determination of a death without a body could set precedent in Connecticut. It appears no one who has been missing for less than 7 years has been declared dead in that state, according to case law cited by Hug's attorney, Carmine Perry. A hearing is scheduled in Farmington Probate Court for October 22nd, when Hug also wants Judge Evelyn Daly to agree to a $137,000 settlement offered by criminal defense attorneys Norm Pattis and Kevin Smith to resolve a lawsuit alleging they improperly kept a $250,000 retainer Fotis Dulos paid them 2 weeks before he died. That money would go to the estate to pay debts Fotis Dulos racked up as he was fending off foreclosures, lawsuits, and criminal charges in the death and disappearance of Jennifer Farber Dulos. Attorneys representing Gloria Farber, the mother of Jennifer, says the family has stipulated the 52-year-old mother of 5 is dead based on arrest and search warrants. In the arrest warrants, police claim Fotis was lying in wait at his estranged wife's New Canaan home when she returned from dropping off their 5 children at school on May 24, 2019. The state's chief medical examiner later determined Jennifer would not have survived the injuries without immediate medical attention. Around the time Jennifer was reported missing, police say Fotis and his gal pal, Michelle Troconis, were seen on surveillance cameras driving around Hartford. The video footage showed Fotis making several stops and dumping bags that were later determined to contain his wife's blood and clothing. Had bloody sponges in there too. The U.S. Supreme Court and other state courts have ruled on deaths of people who have not been missing for 7 years, Perry said in a brief filed Monday with the probate court. Those rulings were based on preponderance of evidence that a death may be proven during the period of time before a presumption of death arises, which in Connecticut is 7 years. Well, they may be able to get her declared dead, based on the search warrants. All the blood that was there, the medical examiner saying she couldn't have survived without medical attention. They may be able to get her declared dead. So let's see what else it says. Perry called the circumstances of the Jennifer Dulo's disappearance and the issues surrounding the estate of her estranged husband uncommon and said he could find no other comparable Connecticut court decisions. After being charged in 2019 with tampering with evidence and hindering prosecution, Fotis was charged with murder and kidnapping on January 7th. He gave Pattis and Smith a $250,000 fee on January 16th to represent him in the pending murder case and in any appeal, according to the documents filed in probate court. 2 weeks later, Fotis died from an apparent suicide on January 30th. Attorney Mark Dean, a trustee representing Gloria Farber, filed a lawsuit in August, alleging Pattis wrongfully kept the retainer months after his client died. Attorney Richard Weinstein, representing Gloria Farber, contends a fee arrangement signed by Fotis and Smith indicates that any unused portion of the money based on hourly rates would be returned if there is some unforeseen event that prevents me from continuing to represent you. They was trying to get by with keeping that money. That's my opinion. I cannot stand Norm Pattis. That is the shadiest man ever and the worst attorney on the face of this earth. Seriously, he has no common sense. All he does is victim bash. Okay. Attorney John Williams, representing Pattis, said his client had an arrangement with Fotis Dulos that the $250,000 included payment for earlier services provided, while representing him on the earlier tampering with evidence and hindering prosecution charges in the case. Fotis had a mysterious benefactor from Greece that was paying for his attorney fees. They never did say who that was. I think it was his childhood friend. The signed agreement attached to Weinstein's objection to the settlement does not indicate any of the money was payment for previous services. No, they're just trying to keep this money. They're just trying to keep the money. Norm Pattis is a crook. He's shady as hell. He talked about Jennifer horribly to the press. And Fotis let him. It shows a lot about Fotis, too. He didn't care his kids was going to hear that. I mean, Fotis tried to claim that she done like the Gone Girl thing, like the movie. She was setting Fotis up. She disappeared on her own just to set Fotis up for murder. Come on. Then he said something about, what, a revenge suicide. Like she killed herself just to pay him back. He made Fotis look worse than he already looked, in my opinion. He already looked bad because they had released, the evidence they had against him. And then Norm got to run in his mouth, and he looked even worse, in my opinion. He looked even more guilty. I'm just looking at the chat. Guess who's on the phone? My dang sister. That's all right. Never lose hope. Okay. Is Tremaine in here? I didn't see him. I was reading. Hey, Tremaine. How are you this morning? Anyways, that's our Jennifer Dulos update. They're trying to get her declared legally dead, and Gloria Farber is trying to get that retainer refunded, the $250,000. That should be refunded because, they didn't get to represent him. He took his own life. And that should go to pay his debts or to the kids. There's probably not going to be much left when they settle the estate because he was in debt. Anyhow, hoping and praying that they find Jennifer. I don't think that they're going to find her body anytime soon. I don't see anything wrong with having her declared legally dead because we all know that she is, based on the blood evidence. They should declare her legally dead so the family can kind of, have memorial service and all that. It seems like Gloria is wanting her declared dead. She knows her daughter's passed away, she said, based on the search warrants and stuff. Cece, how old are Jennifer's kids? Let's see, Carolina girl. One of them's, I know one's 8. See, she's got a set of twins and 2 more kids, right? No, she's got 5. Does she have 2 sets of twins? I know they're not over the age of 13. I do know that. I can't remember right offhand. I used to know all this information. It's been so long, I've kind of forgotten it. Oh yeah, the Amish Brothers. Man, these 2 Amish brothers, they're in trouble again. They got 15 years for having sex with their sister and getting her pregnant. 13-year-old sister, she went to the doctor and found out she was pregnant, and the doctor started asking questions, and she was like, my brothers have been having sex with me and they got me pregnant. So he reported it to the police. If she hadn't have went to what they call an English doctor, we're considered English to them, this probably never would have gotten out because the Amish handle their own business. They do not reach out to law enforcement. I'm going to screen share their pictures here. So they got 15 years for this. All of it suspended, got put on probation, got to register as sex offenders, go to classes, can't have any contact with the victim. Well, they did have contact with the victim. So they were back in court. But they've put the court date off for a little bit. But the people in this community are outraged. They have been protesting outside of the courthouse. Here's the crazy thing. So the 2 older brothers were having sex with her, right? But there was also 2 minor brothers also having sex with this girl. So that's 4 of her brothers having sex with her. Jesus. Okay, let's see. Amish brothers who raped impregnated 13-year-old sister are back in court after allegedly contacting her again. Now, their lawyers say that they did not contact her. What is going on is there's like a big piece of property the family lives on. They're living at the other end of the property, which should not be allowed. They should be made to move away from that property. So let's see. Aaron Schwartz, 22, Petey Schwartz, 18, pleaded guilty to felony child molestation charges after they repeatedly had sexual relations with the younger sister, who gave birth to a child by one of them. I want to know what happened to that child. They were initially charged with statutory rape and incest, but with the plea deal, the judge lowered the charges. The crimes were uncovered when a doctor determined the 13-year-old sister was pregnant. She told the doctor she had been having sex with her brothers. The doctor contacted the Webster County Sheriff's Department, which launched the investigation. Aaron said he and his sister had engaged in sexual intercourse approximately 6 times over the course of the previous year. Corporal Ryan Wells wrote in his report. Aaron was asked for his sister's birth date and provided it, showing he knew her age to be 12 to 13 years old at the time of sexual intercourse. Both brothers were sentenced to 15 years in prison, but their plea deals suspended the sentence, leaving them both out of jail. They will be registered sex offenders for life, however, and were sentenced to 5 years of probation. Part of that probation regulations is that they have no contact with the victim, but both brothers are accused of contacting her at her residence. They appeared in court after a motion was filed to revoke their probation. During court Wednesday, the brothers' lawyer, William Worsham, said his clients never had contact with the victim. He argued that after the brothers learned about a technical violation while attending a probation hearing, they moved to another area of the family property to make sure they wouldn't be around the victim. Well, see, that's a problem there because they're still on the same property. It doesn't matter if they move to another end of the property. They're still on the damn property. The lawyer also said that technical violation doesn't rise to the level of requiring a court hearing. Judge Hendrickson, who presided over the hearing, decided not to throw out the motion to revoke probation. He scheduled a new hearing on October 22nd. And the reason they got such a good plea deal is because of their mental capacity. They said they wasn't mature enough to be in jail with the other inmates. Not quite sure what that means. Just said their maturity level. So when I read that, I was like, well, do they have like the mind of like a 10-year-old, 15-year-old? Like, what does that mean? Put them somewhere else. Put them in a damn psychiatric hospital. There's 4 people in this family having sex with the 13-year-old sister. The 2 minors have not been charged because they're minors. Sick. Sicko. There's a lot of child abuse and sexual abuse that goes on in the Amish community, and they keep it hush hush because they don't like outsiders in their business. They like to handle their own stuff. Probably trying to get the poor girls to take back what she said. Well, part of their probation should have been that they cannot live on the family's property. Damn, this is pissing me off. People in the community are outraged. They were outside the court the other day. They had like a smile protest holding signs up and stuff because they just got away with this. Their sister's mind's ruined forever. And they just get a slap on the wrist. 15 years, all of it suspended. Just got to do probation and register as a sex offender, do some classes. That's it. I mean, it's bullcrap. They had an incestual relationship with their sister. And I'm just wondering what they made her do with the baby. Because she's done gave birth to the baby. They going to let her keep the baby? Did they make her give it up for adoption to another Amish family? I can't with the hair. Yeah, I don't know why they cut their hair like that. There is a reason that they do that. I just can't remember off the top of my head. Most of the Amish community are wonderful people. Wonderful people. They just got their own way of doing things. They don't want to be like the rest of us with all this technology and stuff. They don't even have electricity. They don't have phones in their house. I think they have like a payphone they can go use. There's no phone in the house. They um, they do not take their pictures. They do not do videos, anything like that. Um, they believe that like taking pictures of yourself is like it's vain. It's like a sin. So they don't do any of that. Can they not take her out of the community? Well, probably. More than likely, what is going on is this family is the whole family is probably shunned from the community. When they are shunned from the community, they cannot go to church. They cannot do business with anyone else in the Amish community. Anyone that is caught doing business with this family, if they are shunned, they will be shunned. Um, Probably what happened is the community leader has probably told the parents, hey, you got to shun your two sons here that did this. And if the family didn't shun them too, then they will be shunned. Yeah, they won't be allowed to go to church. They won't be allowed to do any business with anyone in the Amish community. Right. What classes are they taking? Well, they're supposed to take some kind of sex offenders class. It's very cruel. Yeah. Yeah. And it really bothers those families when they get shunned like that. I mean, it really hurts them. They can't do business. They can't even go buy wood, you know, from the sawmill, the Amish sawmill. No. Anyone that does business with them will be shunned from the community. That's my understanding. They don't want to sell in our prison with no lights. Yeah. How far do they go through education? They go to the eighth grade. They go to the eighth grade and then they have to start working. And the girls get married and have babies. The men are in total control of everything. The women, their job is to have babies, cook and clean, do chores. Yeah, they all go to the eighth grade. A lot of these kids in the recent years, when they get to the age of 18, they leave the Amish community. When they leave the community like that and start wearing English clothes and stuff, they're shunned. They will be shunned. If their parents don't shun them and still associate with them, they will be shunned. I used to watch the Amish Mafia, and I've watched documentaries and stuff. It's how I know a little bit about them. Yeah, most don't go past the eighth grade, and they learn very little in school. The minimum. I mean, they can barely like do math and read and write and stuff like that. Now, a lot of the kids, they'll sneak off their farms and stuff and change into English clothes and go partying and stuff. Some of them do. But if they get caught, they'll be kicked out the community. Now, the Mennonites are a little bit different. The Mennonite community, they wear the clothes, the long dress, the old-timey clothes, the bonnets, but they have electricity and they drive cars. That's kind of the difference there. I think their religion is like a little bit different. I think that Amber Alert I was telling you about earlier, I think they found that little boy. Let's see. 6-year-old abducted in Utah last month has been located safely in Oregon. 6-year-old Taryn Butler and his mother, 43-year-old Emily Jolly, disappeared from Salt Lake City on September 26th. According to police, Jolly abducted her son during a supervised visit. She had lost custody of her son to the boy's father because she put the boy up to lying on his father and saying that his father was abusing him. The court found out that it was a lie, and so they took custody from her. So she just had supervised visits, and she abducted him. Okay, it says Sergeant Melody Cutler said Jolly and her son were spotted in Oregon, and within hours, police found the child safely in a home on Broadway Street in North Bend. Jolly's friend, Bonnie Jackson, was also arrested in connection with the kidnapping. Wow, I was going to tell y'all about this morning that this little boy was missing, but I saw this update. They found him. Okay. So there they are. They were arrested and transported to the Coos County Jail. Alleging. Oh, she's in a lot of trouble. She's facing federal crimes because she took him across state lines. The boy has been returned to his father. Timothy Butler told CBS 2 that he was never married to Jolly and went through years of custody battles. The court previously gave him full custody of their son after Jolly allegedly made up a false story that Butler abused the boy. She is also accused of coaching Taryn on what to say to police. Well, I am so glad that they found him safe and sound. He's been gone for a while, few days. Let's see what else is going on. What's going on with this sex cult here is showing. Sex cult leader girlfriend breaks down after seeing body parts pics of woman she lured in for boyfriend to torture and strangle. What the crap? This is in Nebraska. Nebraska woman on trial for murder broke down in Dawson County courtroom after prosecutors presented photos of the victim, Sydney Loaf, who was kidnapped and killed November 2017. Bailey Boswell, 26, is accused of conspiring for weeks with her boyfriend, Aubrey Trail, 52, to lure in Loaf. Boswell is accused of enticing Loaf to meet up for dates after meeting her on a Tinder dating app. Wow. Boswell is currently on trial for first-degree murder, conspiracy to commit murder, improper disposal of human remains. Trail's trial concluded last year. He slit his own throat while in court after hearing the verdict and was rushed to the hospital. He survived after screaming Bailey is innocent during his trial. In December, Trail will find out whether he will spend life behind bars or get the death penalty. Oh, I remember this now. That guy slit his own throat in court. Wow. See, KOLN reports that on Thursday, during the seventh day of Boswell's trial, FBI Special Agent Ellie McBride took the stand and testified. He was part of the law enforcement team who traveled to Clay County in central Nebraska on December 4th, where Boone's body parts had been discovered. From looking at the bag the day before, I knew there were only certain body parts in it, McBride said. I knew it could not have contained the rest of Miss Loaf. Maybe it's Loof. I knew we were going to be looking for additional evidence, additional body parts. We just didn't know where. Law enforcement ended up finding a foot and leg near the bag, identified as Boone's body parts. The prosecution showed more than a dozen photos of Boone's body parts during the trial. As Boswell started crying, her defense attorney objected to the photos, but the judge overruled the objection. Hey, you need to look at those photos because that's what you did, lady. You lured an innocent woman out for a date so your sicko boyfriend could murder her, dismember her. They probably raped her too. One part of the body we did not recover would have been again from her left arm from above the elbow just to beneath the shoulder. Here's these two sickos. What's up with people dismembering people lately? What's going on in this world? I bet you I've read about 5 or 6 different cases in the last 2 weeks. It's talked about dismemberment. Yeah, it's beyond crazy. It's just, it's sickening to think that a woman would participate in something like this. Actually, lure another woman out so she could be raped, tortured, murdered, and dismembered. That's not a woman. That picture we was looking at is not a woman. The freaking demon. Sick. He probably had some kind of sick fantasy about doing that. And she's like, oh, yeah, I'll do it with you. Sick bitch. Goodness, people kill me. I was looking for my good topic here in my Discord. I came across like the cutest, saddest little story. It's like sad, cute combined. Oh, there it is. Okay, let me look at my chat a minute. My God, Demon is right. I would be screaming if I cut my finger. Oh my gosh. Mark was out on the porch one day. He was sawing a piece of wood. He was redoing some furniture or something. Anyways, he about sawed his thumb off somehow. And I had to drive him to the emergency room. It's been several years ago, but it freaked me out. It did, seeing all that blood. Crazy, crazy. Every time you pull up an article, they want you to sign up for something that's so annoying. So I came across this story about this woman who actually wrote a obituary for her dog that passed away. It went viral. It was so sweet. Um, South Carolina woman writes touching obituary for her dog. He left behind his fierce love. The viral tweet has since garnered over 100,000 likes since it was originally posted on September 22nd. On this poor little dog, he had cancer. Isn't that a golden retriever? They're like the smartest dogs. A South Carolina woman paid tribute to her late dog by writing and publishing his obituary, which has since gone viral on social media. Sally Gregory Hammett said she wrote her beloved golden retriever Charlie his own excuse me, his own obituary as a way to grieve and come to terms with his death. I think that's a sweet idea. Really. I really do. That's so sweet. I always loved writing, and when Charlie passed, it was just so overwhelming, and I needed to do something uh, cathartic, she told the outlet, adding that she wanted something to celebrate and memorialize him because he was such a huge part of my life. Let's see what else says. I don't want to read it all. Her husband encouraged her to share the obituary online. Let's see if we can read the obituary. I wrote my dog an obituary because, of course, I did. He was the best doggy. Oh, isn't that sweet? And she had it published in the local newspaper. So Charlie, he was 13 years old. I think he was 13. No, it says he passed on September 13th. Okay. But anyways, he loved to play with sticks. He loved to run through the water, the waves at the beach. And she included his favorite activities in the obituary. It says activities were walking, stick collecting, swimming, smiling, and snoozing. If we're being honest, Charlie loved everything life had to offer except stairs. He hated stairs. Charlie loved the beach, car rides, bananas, and socks. Charlie also loved going to his grandma and grandpa's house where he could get treats, chase squirrels, and pee everywhere because cousin Captain peed everywhere. Charlie went tailgating, camping, hiking, fishing. He lived the very best life. More than anything else, Charlie loved his mom. He was always there to greet her with some kisses, a firm grip on her arms. He was her constant companion, there, there through heartaches, moves, griefs, and joy. He was good at a lot of things, but he was best at unconditional love. He taught everyone he met about loving people and always seeing the good in everyone. Charlie lost a hard fight battle with lymphoma after, after 5 months of bravery. Charlie spent his last days in his favorite place at the beach. He relaxed in the Charlie sized hose he dug himself and dove straight into the oncoming waves. His last days were so happy, and he will be cherished forever. We will think of him every time we open the peanut butter. We will miss him every time we see a sock on the floor or pass a stick on a walk. We will carry him with us everywhere. He will be forever missed and forever remembered. But he left behind his fierce love, which never wavered. In lieu of flowers, the family asks that you give all your pups some extra love in honor of Charlie. Wow. So sweet. Everybody hug your doggies or, yeah, hug your kitties. Life is short, guys, like I was saying yesterday. Life is short. And animals, sometimes they can get on our nerves, especially when you got four like me. But they're only here for a short while. So, we all need to give them the best life possible. Y'all know I'm an advocate for animals and children. I love both. Um, Animals have a very special place in my heart. Really do. Dogs, unconditional love, yes. Yes, my lady. My lady, she's always here by my side. She's right here in a bed beside my desk right now, curled up. Tomorrow is never promised. That's right. Today's not guaranteed. It's what I was saying yesterday about watching negative things. I'm just not going to do it. I'm just not going to do it. I may watch, a little bit of this drama like on Ladies' Night or something. But I'm just not going to watch negative things. Got myself out of the habit of it already. It's just not worth it. Life's short. I'm just not going to waste my life watching people argue and bitch. It's just not going to happen. I'm trying to put out a video with the picture of that skull. Hey, send me a picture of that tarot reader. Send me a picture of it. I'll put my email in real quick. If you want to, you can send me a picture. No, it's not worth it. And even if you're not involved in it, it still can affect you. Just anything you watch negative like that can affect you. So, sometimes even when I read negative things, it affects me, such as these child abuse cases, child murder cases. It's just not worth it. Anyways, I'm over it. Ever since I've been on YouTube, there's been arguing and stuff going on, mostly by the same people. I'm not trying to piss anybody off, but it's the truth's the truth. And I'm just over it. I'm totally over it. I sent it right now if you post email for me. Yeah, I posted the email above. Caroline, you're so right, Susie. Yeah, you think about, hey, Susie. Let me get your light slip, Susie. Where's my light slip? Oh, there it is. You just think about this. Some of these live streams that go on sometimes last 5 and 6 hours at a time. That's a long time to sit there and listen. Someone argue and drag someone, fuss and fight, attack people in the chat. That's a long time. I'm not wasting my time like that on dumb stuff. I'll tell you what, if some people really knew how they looked on YouTube, sitting there arguing and attacking everybody that comments in the chat, they really knew how they looked and what people thought of them, they wouldn't do that crap. Because I'm tell you what, it's very immature. Yes, I have blowed up on here myself. I've said things. I try not to do that. I have done it in the past, but hey, that's the past. I'm not one that'll sit and live stream for hours at a time cussing about someone on YouTube I really don't even know. I don't get, if people want to talk about me, it's the way I look at it. Let them talk. If I don't know them, I don't care what they say, because if I don't know them, I don't respect them. The only time I care what people say if it's someone that I'm familiar with, that I like. Yeah, that probably hurt my feelings. But these other people I don't know, they can say what they want. I don't care. Yes, exactly, TC. I'm going to highlight that. That's what I'm trying to say. It's a waste of time, hours you will never get back in your life. Life is short. I mean, we could die in a few minutes or tomorrow. And I sure don't want the last days of my life spent listening to someone argue and bitch about something that's totally dumb and immature. That crap's done for views and to get people in chat, that drama. That's just the way I feel about it. Of course, I see stuff on here I don't like all the time. You don't see me firing up a live stream and inserting myself, do you? No. Oh gosh, I better get off this. I could rant and rave about this for hours. Let me see. Let me see the email. Let me get my email, Stacy. I don't have it on my laptop. Oh, here, I see it right here. Let me download the picture. I can show it to everybody. I'll download the picture. Okay. Let me share it to my Discord and I'll pull it up. Oh my gosh. That looks like a real skull. Could it be a Halloween prop? Because I've got a plastic skull. I've got 2 of them. Let me put this in my links in article room and that way I could show it to everybody. That is so crazy, girl. Surely they just wouldn't kill someone, throw the skull in the trash like that out in front of everyone. Okay. Let me open it up in a new tab that way. Okay. Let me screen share here. I just wanted to open it up in a new tab, so I went and show in my Discord. People may not want their name showed. Uh-oh. It's this one I want. Oh, crap, it quit screen sharing. Okay, there we go. Oh my gosh. And it looks like something has been into the trash, Stacy. Toward the bag open. Dog, cat, coon. That looks like a real damn skull to me. That does not look like a plastic skull. It's right here, guys. If y'all can see my cursor. Wow. Don't these people have trash cans? They put their trash in? They just throw it out on the ground like that? Of course, animals are going to get into it when you do that. Let's see. Let me get back to my chat here. Can y'all not see that? I was screen sharing it. I don't see it. It wasn't showing up on my phone if it was screen sharing. Let me do it again. Tell you what, this StreamYard's a bunch of crap. There. Should have been there. Okay, there it is. Maybe I was behind in chat. See, it's so weird. Yeah, it sure does look like a skull, though. A real one. That does not look plastic. You can tell the skulls that I bought from the dollar store for Halloween decorations. You can tell they're fake. I mean, they look plastic. They're silver. One of them's black. Hey, Light Feather, how are you? What are you going to do about this, Stacy? Or have you? I mean, you contacted the police, right? Did they come and take the skull? Yeah, the rats could have tore into it also. We got rats in Maryland bad in alleys. Oh my goodness. I would freak out. That's for sure. That is crazy. First, when you was telling me about it, I thought, well, it's probably a Halloween prop or something. That's not a Halloween prop. That's a Halloween prop. Looks really real. They got a lot of trash out in the streets. I know they got fined once already. Don't people care what the outside and around their house looks like? Goodness gracious, you can buy a trash can with the lid. I think I paid like 20 some bucks for mine. It's actually got rollers on it and everything. There's no excuse. Some people's just nasty, filthy, live like hogs. It's no excuse. My granny said, when they were growing up, they was poor, but they was always clean, bathed every day, made their own soap and stuff. I got my coupon for Bath and Body Works. Oh, cool. I need to order me a Bath and Body Works candle. Order me some pumpkin candles. I'm glad you took that pic too. Gotta go zoom in. Okay, Stacy, have a good day. I'm getting ready to get off here too. Cops came. Did they take it? Did they take the skull? Okay, let's see. What was I going to tell you before I got off here? Oh, yeah. We're still having our Halloween party. It will be Halloween night. I'm not quite sure if I'm going to be able to have it outside. It's pretty cold here. But if not, I'll be decorating in here in my room, a live stream from, but I'm going to try to have it on the porch if I can. I guess I could always put on a jacket or something. But anyone wants to come up on panel, welcome to during our Halloween party. I'd prefer people to dress up a little bit, but you don't really have to. But I'm going to be Carol freaking Baskin. I got to get busy today and order me a cute little leopard print shirt. Said it was lamb. Oh, it was a lamb skull? What are they doing with the damn lamb skull? That's freaking weird. Poor little lamb. Oh, yeah, I did a shout-out video this morning. I don't know what happened with it, but, like, after I did the shout-out, the video was supposed to keep playing music and some Halloween pictures, but it didn't, so my apologies for that. I don't know what happened with it. But anyways, and also Saturday night, I am thinking about either doing a members meetup or just having a trivia night for everyone. I'm not sure yet. But Sunday, I'm definitely having a channel member stream Sunday morning. But I want to do something Saturday night. I'm thinking about having a Google Meet for everyone, all my subscribers. Maybe I should do that Saturday night. That would be a good idea. Virtual meet and greet. They moved in 3 months ago, don't speak English? Okay, well, that explains the lamb skull then. That explains it. A lot of people, they eat that like that in their native countries and stuff. Yeah, they should they need a trash can, not just put their trash on the ground for, animals to tear up. Anyways, guys, it's been a wonderful chat. Y'all have a great Friday. Probably see y'all tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow night. I'm going to plan something. I'm going to make up my mind what I want to do. I could never make decisions, guys. What do you call that? Indecisive? I've always been that way. I'll say I'm going to do something, then I'll change my mind about it and want to do something else. That's just my personality. I don't mean to lie. It's just, I can never make up my mind what I want to do. I'm in for anything, Cece. Just happy to be with everyone. Oh, Lightfeather, you're so sweet. It was so nice to get to hear your voice. That's what I like about these Google Meets. You get to know everybody, you get to hear their voice, and then that way you know who you're talking to in the chat, you know their personality. But I thought it would be fun to do a Google Meet for all the subscribers. There's some people that's been on my channel since I started, and I've never heard their voices. Never talked to them in private or anything. But anyways, I'm going to try to get that set up because I think I've done made my mind up. I think it's going to be a Google Meet Saturday night for anyone that wants to come out, come and hang out with me. I enjoy meeting everyone on the calls. Oh, me too. It's so much fun. Oh no, I'm back. China Mall has 5,000 pets dead in mall. Sorry, bye. Oh my goodness. Well, they like to eat dogs over there, kill dogs and eat them. Wish they would put a stop to that. I mean, there's no sense in that. There's plenty of farm animals, cows, pigs, seafood. They could eat stuff like that. They don't got to eat freaking dogs. It's ridiculous. I may be. I can unmute. Oh, Drama, you need to send me an email so that I have your email so that I can get a hold of you. And maybe we can schedule a meeting just for me and you. And I can help you figure out how to do it, so the next time you can join us. But anyways, guys, y'all have a great day. Be safe, be kind, and peace.